It says stop streaming, so I'm assuming we're live, but I'll double check because you never know what the internet. Look at that, bloody warm in here.
Your blues would go with our pinks and reds.
We are live. Steve's just a voyeur. Welcome to Elland Road. I mean, hopefully you can hear me because we are in the bowels of Elland Road.
It's tough to get into too, wasn't it?
Well, I was going to say something, but I thought people might act up on my suggestion, so I don't want to say that just in case. But top security. It's like Wembley. If Taylor Swift played here, you could all sneak in and come see it. There are ticket touts outside.
Really?
Which gives you an idea of the level of ticket touts these days, because you can actually go buy a ticket face value.
It's not sold out.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Ticket touts wanting you to buy tickets off people.
Wow.
So I don't understand that concept,
but this is Sizzling Saturday. We're sold out, aren't we?
Sizzling.
Is that the official name? Is that what John's going to put on his eye?
May have just made that up.
I'm still in front of a
We
door.
did think about that door. Yeah, that's the magic door.
Leeds in crisis in.
Curly, Larry and Mo.
Oh,
Here you are, straight on the podcast.
Oh, the three of you here, look at this.
Colour
Oh, I'm not going on with you.
You're already on it.
yeah, you are. You've turned off.
Yeah,
Is this live?
Yeah,
Is this
it's
live?
When's your redundancy coming in?
Yeah, well, it might be today.
It's live, isn't it?
Depends, yeah.
Confirmation half time.
Someone would get rid of me today if they could.
Have you got anything exciting to say?
This could be a good day, isn't it? 3 great
What?
please.
We've just christened it Sizzling Saturday.
Yeah, it's close, very close. It's been busy here since 9 o'clock this morning.
McDonald's.
People get lost.
Yeah, but all around, you know, there's been people here.
I've not seen anybody to ask.
Star
I'm on my own there. You saw where I was.
So where is it going to be next year?
No.
Dublin, apparently. Red and Sun. They're always right. Yeah.
Back here. Come back here.
Presumably, the issue is not whether we should have it, but how it integrates into a season.
As with everything,
because it's a
nothing
loop fix.
straightforward. Are you live, by the way?
We are live.
Yeah.
We are live.
So anything you
Too
say,
controversial.
anything you say,
Too controversial.
I've told you several
anything you
times.
say will be held against
This
you.
is not like that Wayne Mardle interview.
There's a big jigsaw, isn't there, of a calendar?
Yeah.
You know, Wembley's fixed. Grand Final's fixed.
Vegas is now
Vegas is now fixed.
World Club Challenge.
Should be fixed.
Nearly fixed.
I thought your idea of a wheelchair in the winter was interesting. Oh, not your idea, James Simpson's idea.
We merely facilitate ideas.
That is
We
it.
don't
That's
always-
I saw
it
someone
was a
else build
smart-
code. That was a great idea.
I thought that was a smart idea of actually a different content. I thought that would be good, but that would then shift other things.
Smart ideas are rugby league will never take off.
So where will it be? I think it'll depend on when the date is.
And if this makes money.
Yeah. And who it makes money for. But I think rugby league fans love magic, don't they?
It would appear so.
There'll be plenty here today.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, I think it'll be a success. I thought magic at Newcastle worked, but it's a football ground and they're a Premier League ground and want to play in the Champions League.
Yeah.
So
That's upset all
is
the
it going to
Leeds
be
fans.
available? Yeah, well, Leeds United need it here, don't they? Now they're selling all the best players, so that can be.
Are they going to get a new striker?
Well, that's a
out
quote.
today?
We need to box that
Oh,
out.
Raphael,
Says the
official
Man United.
translated.
Says the Man United.
No,
fan,
another
didn't
one.
he?
You and Tommy Makin said.
I don't know, one fluky 1-0 win and all of a sudden the
Yeah,
world
exactly.
looks different.
We were champions at 8 o'clock last night, and then it was bottom 4 at about 8:45. No, where will it be? There's several venues in the mix, isn't there?
But isn't the issue more about loop fixtures?
Is it? Is it a 14-team Super League or a 12-team Super League?
12 you'd assume, because of the amount of players that
Sorry,
they've got available.
but we need 27 rounds, don't we? So
Well, do we?
Well,
Or do we need
that's the big
scarcity
jigsaw.
value?
That's the big jigsaw piece, you know. And what's the 3-year vision? That's the next.
Well, 1 year vision.
I think that's a bit harsh.
Be
I
a
think
step,
that's a
be a
bit
step,
International
be
rugby
a,
league.
be a step
Come on.
up.
That's a bit harsh. I think.
It's having Gary
I-
Schofield back. That is a bit harsh.
Oh.
I don't know where it'll. I think we're in discussions with a number of places. I think it needs to be more than just a venue, doesn't it? It needs to be a destination. So
And
this is a great venue.
Get
by
to the
way.
point where you can put it out to tender as well, so people come to you rather than you try and find a venue, which was one of the ideas when Edinburgh took it off Cardiff.
Well, last year Newcastle said it was worth 6 to 9 million to the local economy.
Did they?
Yeah, said that on the radio.
Fantastic.
So if it's worth that to a city,
Barnsley will be good.
Oldham,
Chip shop prices go up on a football league.
heaven of the north.
Get promoted tomorrow if they win it, Sunday. Yeah, tomorrow if
game
they win a
tomorrow if
key.
they win tomorrow.
Yeah, Are you going?
I'm here the weekend. There's big rugby everywhere, isn't there? Oh, Batley beat Sheffield yesterday.
They did. Wakefield's an extra role march to League Leaders Shield Glory. That must be confirmed.
Toulouse York today, isn't it?
So another question, which you may not be able to answer, but as you're here,
I drifted off where you did ask me
Okay, so-
originally,
Yeah.
which
Shouldn't
was
you
I've
been a
not
bar?
answered that
Shouldn't you
one.
been a bar somewhere?
I'd like to be in a bar. I've got a bit of work to do before I can get any drink inside me today.
why are the Super League Academy fixtures at the same time as this if we want everybody to come to a festival?
It's your fault.
I'm not saying, I'm merely asking a question, not apportioning.
Well, as a Super League Academy, I believe last night Wigan played Saints.
Yeah.
And I got told it was an unbelievable game. So, given that some of those players will be playing in not that game, but they'll have taken some of their academy players for today, that's bright for the future if we've got academies that good. Because we've got to get the fixtures in, and the season has a limited period of time. I just think we've got a bigger piece of work on a whole game calendar rather than the jigsaw of it all. Is there a mid-season international? If there's no mid-season international, what do you do instead? When do you start the season? When you put the Challenge Cup in? What does that mean for Women's Super League? What does it mean for Wheelchair Super League? What does it mean for the community games? So there's a lot that goes into a calendar every year. I think we're on version 15 at the minute of next year's calendar, and that's assuming, of course, that the season ends and everybody falls in the right place in terms of plans. And you've got to have Plan A if there's 2 French teams in Super League, and Plan A if there's 1 team in Super League. So you end up with lots of different versions of events, and then when everyone thinks it gets quiet in October after the grand final, we then sit down and work it all out again. But the problem is you fix one thing and it creates another.
It's like
And this is
building
the
a jigsaw
example.
without knowing what the picture is on the board.
Exactly. And
No more breakdancing.
we won't know that till grading happens.
No more
We won't know-
breakdancing.
Once grading happens,
Yeah.
we'll know a bit more, but we still wouldn't know for definite.
The only other criticism of the fixture list this year is that Warrington played Catalan 3 times in the first 11 weeks, and Leeds played Wigan for the first time last week.
And Huddersfield had 1 home game in the first 10 games because their stadium's not available.
Is that all to
because
be
of football.
factored in as well?
Yeah. A lot of the fixtures, the calendar, you get the big calendar first and go, right, we'll start then, we'll end there, we'll do this here, we'll do that then, and then you get all the fixture requests that every club makes, and every club makes a fixture request, even ones who own their own ground. And you have to put that into a big computer and say, spit your fixtures out. And you end up with freaks like that because several of our clubs play at football grounds, so they're only available at certain times of the year. Other ones have pitch remediation at other times of the year, so it's just not straightforward. And as I say, you'll fix one team's fixtures, and then that'll cause you an issue with somebody else's. You then got to try and find the best solution for all that. And if it was honest, this year, the reason the fixture list ended up as it did was we made sure every club got their requests as they wanted them, rather than making them go and find
And then
their stadium owner.
TV changed things anyway.
TV changed things slightly. Can we go to having specific slots for TV? I don't know, and that would be a move, wouldn't it?
So ideally on a day like today, you wouldn't want Championship or League One fixtures either, because it then could be, we've seen Batley shirts coming in, a true festival of the sport. But how do you factor that in unless you make the season 10 months long?
And then the community game takes that as well, because the community game wants to play for so many weeks of the year and then has to take the summer period off for kids, so that becomes even more difficult.
Or doesn't have to, but chooses to. What?
Well, now I'm back. And even those big signs saying we're live
Was
just
this
overtaking the
was
score.
this weekend the only weekend that Elland Road was available? Because obviously I think a lot of criticism has been opening weekend of the Premier League.
Yeah, I actually don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that. I think this was the weekend that was asked.
Yeah.
We asked for and they asked for. I mean, Sky also fits into that. You know,
Exactly,
Sky will
yeah.
tell you when they want certain things to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And actually it's better towards the end of the season because there's more riding on each of the
That's
matches.
very true.
the
That's
best
very
Magic
true.
we had was the one at Magic in the September, which was actually because of COVID, if you remember, because
Yeah.
we pushed it right back so that we'd have fans in the stadium, and we ended up with 2 Golden Point games, and there was the League Leaders Shield on the line, and Catalan beat Saints very late on, and
And
all
there's
that.
something riding on every
Oh, must
game
be
this
dinner.
weekend.
Yeah, because of the Golden Point.
Exactly. And today this weekend there's something on every fixture. As it's landed, we've got a bottom of the table clash. We've got
Spoon.
the top 8 playing each other. I think 3 teams probably seasons on the line today.
And Huddersfield,
This weekend.
Castleford are the 2 best teams to have Magic records, and they play with something to play for.
Should we invent a magic shield for the team with the best record of Magic Weekend? Just
Yeah, like 7.
So I asked the quiz
ball.
question today. Do you know who the top 4 scorers at Magic are in its history?
Say Sam Tompkins?
Nope.
Are we talking points or
Tries. Most scored tries
Danny
scores.
Maguire?
Nope.
Josh Charnock.
Nope.
Ryan Hall.
Correct.
Yeah.
He's number 1. The other 3 all played for Salford at some point in their careers. I got
Say
this, by the
not
way,
Jack-
off the players' Facebook this morning.
I'm going to say not.
No nerd.
I'm going to say not Jackson Hastings.
I'm no rugby league nerd, but this is a good quiz question.
Dobson?
No.
Mark Sneed.
No.
Wow.
One of them is still playing. In fact, might play tonight.
Callum Watkins.
No.
Who plays for Warrington used to play for Salford?
Right.
If
Ryan
anyone could
Bryan.
comment to us.
No. Yeah, let's see if they come in on that.
They want to know if George Williams is injured. That's what Andy's asked.
Is George Williams injured?
Apparently he's got a fractured foot, says Andy. We don't know. We're just asking.
We'll just get him on the.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's over there.
The Marx Brothers live. Which one is Groucho? Says Phil.
Well, the mask, you could try to pull that off with the glasses.
I do need to change my hair because it's completely different to my official RFL accreditation for it. I nearly didn't get let in because I thought it might be someone else. But
I'll give you the other 3. Ben Johns Bishop,
Oh, wow. That's a
He's not
throwback.
playing today.
Jody Broughton,
Right.
and
Oh, yes,
definitely-
Cat Lane
Stephen
Sampson.
Ratchford.
Stephen Ratchford, yeah. He has been around for 100 years.
Yeah, and goes around again next year.
He does.
I'm going to leave you with it now. Can I leave
Well,
you
Yeah, you.
back to your
I mean,
magic preview?
we've taken
About 9 minutes of
about
your
9 minutes.
live.
No, of your time. Not
it's
really
alright.
about our time.
It's
Trying to find-
always lovely to see.
Yeah, and you. Yeah.
Come on the show.
I still listen all
on
the
the
time,
show one week.
even when I know I'm going to get battered.
You know.
I know.
When was,
Oh,
the
you've
last
never
time,
been
when was the
battered.
last time you were
What are you
battered?
talking
Oh, I'm only joking.
Mr. Child wouldn't dare bat you.
Yeah, he's here today.
Yes, he says he's
Oh,
on
is he
the
in
other
corp?
side of the ground.
Is he
Though.
in he's in the posh corporate.
No, but he's not.
No, he's
not.
in the ref's
Right, so
box.
he's in the referee's
Right.
box, but the referee's box sounds dead exciting, but it's a box next to all the corporate with no food in it.
Oh, but it's not box 44.
So there's no food in it, and
He'll-
all this great
he'll be
food's
in
going
here for-
past
Is
them.
it
The
with
media
bulletproof
food.
glass?
Because I saw
Bill
that's
Camp
in
things.
corporate on this side of the ground. So and you want to be on the other side.
He'll be here for the food as he's using his 40-20 press pass and then back off to the referees.
I wouldn't blame
Oh,
him.
one of those.
What is the food? We need to find
Just
out.
around.
Just over there.
Food's quite good actually. It was downstairs. Anyway, have a good afternoon. I'll see you later.
And
Thanks,
we'll
bro.
see you during the weekend.
It's Robert Hicks. Robert Hicks on the office. We just grabbed him for he'd come on the podcast. Well, it's not a podcast. It's not Sam Tompkins there, Andy. It's whoever it was. I don't know where we are now. What are we looking forward to most this weekend? About all of it. It finishing. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
9 o'clock tonight.
That's a tough Phil. I'll just
I
offload
just-
that to you.
Phil enjoys all of it.
Yeah.
I love milling around the stadium because there's a good vibe. Rugby league fans love to criticise the staging and logistics of events, and then they turn up and make it an event, and it feels good today. I think all 3 games today are going to be excellent.
I think the Wigan St Helens game with the
Well, that's
youngsters
just gonna,
featuring.
that's
I think
going to be
that'll
intriguing for the team sheet,
And I think Leeds won. I mean, unfortunately, no Brodie Croft, but I think that's a very important
but
game.
maybe no George Williams according to
Yeah, but I would probably disagree. I mean, I think coming today, there's not the same vibe as if you're going to Newcastle or. To put it down,
I think
just
that,
personally.
yes, the
Makes sense.
location,
It's
the,
fair,
the
it's-
location
yeah.
is important, but it's actually a festival of rugby league, and the fans are buying into that.
I think
They just won't stay for games other than the ones that they're necessarily coming to see. So you can't see Hull fans who are going to be, well, who are in great evidence at the moment, staying around till 9 o'clock at night to watch 4 games.
You might see him in the old Peacock car.
which I understand, but I think the week that started with Josh Warrington not turning up to the Talk Sport interview, it's not been the greatest.
I mean, what was that? He was supposed to be there on Monday, wasn't he?
Yeah,
And he wasn't.
didn't
But he has done
turn
a
up.
piece for Betfred, because I've seen clips.
But that was not in the
That wasn't-
invite.
Right.
Phil. I know you weren't there on Monday, but myself and Richard were there.
Well, having
He did.
I was going to ask him why the boxing belts look so cheap. Because compared to UFC and professional wrestling, they're nasty. Nasty cheap.
Important questions from Richard.
Exactly. Well, what am I saying? What's it like to be punched in the face? It's the kind of questions that see me not hosting fan zones and stuff. These questions. So, there you go. There was something I was going to ask you, and I can't remember what it was now. But
But I
How
think
Brazil just being Alan Brazil on that?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
How-
I know I'm going to defend this.
No, but we all
I'm not.
we all know he's an idiot. That's
Well,
his
the
persona.
thing is
But it's just reflective of the. I mean, it's a host broadcaster of Super League. It's just a lack of respect.
But is it
And
him?
no one's challenging that.
But is it the producers of the show? Because as a presenter,
It's immaterial. No, but it's immaterial though. Like he is a buffoon. Obviously,
Yeah.
as a producer who would say.
But he's a popular buffoon.
But the fact also then to put it on social media, it just.
How many views did he say got? 4 million.
oh, it's something ridiculous like that.
That's not 4 million good views.
I don't know. It gets people who wouldn't normally talk about rugby league talking
I'm
about
not.
rugby league.
I'm not defending it. I'm just.
No, I'm not.
Because there are things that I.
And the thing, I worked in Leeds 3 days this week at the city centre. Didn't see any signage, promotion.
I saw one on a bus the
anything.
other day.
There were lots
I mean,
of
I saw
other
Phil Kaplan
interviews on
with a
TalkSport.
one at 4. I wasn't listening at 4:45 a.m.
No, but there were other afternoon presenters who interviewed rugby league people with a greater deal of knowledge. So I just think it was one of those ridiculous Brazil comedy slots that he'd do to any sport.
He didn't realise Bob Monkhouse was dead. You don't know who Bob Monkhouse is, do you? No.
I don't know if he's dead or alive. I don't
He's
know
dead.
who he is.
But he heard 2 stories. It's a great clip. I heard 2 stories.
I mean, yeah, not to temper Rob's and Phil's enthusiasm, but if we get a crowd of 50,000, it'll be the lowest magic ever, and we can.
But the most profitable.
Yes, and look, I'm all for money. I wish I had some. I've heard of it, but no, if that money goes into the game and
that
it's reinvested,
This concept will only
fantastic.
continue if there is money made from it.
But we also need to look at why are we
Absolutely.
doing it? And
Well, the first thing
what's
we've
the
said
plan.
right from the very beginning is what is the raison
Vision.
d'etre of doing magic? And if it's an expansionist tool, it can never come to places like this.
Well, it wasn't it, Phil? When it was started,
but
it was
I'm not,
meant to
I'm
grow
not
the
sure
game.
it was.
Well, that's what I've read.
It went to Cardiff.
Well, people tell me.
Partly because the Cardiff Tourist Board put up a lot of money for it,
Well, that's great. Yeah.
which is what you want to get back
Yeah.
to.
But I remember listening to a podcast. I think you might have said this, that there was going to be more people at Leeds because it was in the Heartlands.
There, yeah.
And you may have been proven wrong there.
Well, I think we'll get a sellout today, but you'll never see the stadium sold out, which will be weird.
For all
So, how many people tomorrow? 5,000?
No, I think there'll be more. I think the danger is the last game tomorrow. I think there's something riding on Lee and Salford.
Yes, definitely. Hull Cow Catalans is a great game.
One of the games of the weekend.
Yeah.
The issue will be that as you say goodbye after the 6th game, and it's been a great weekend. There's 12 people in the stadium. And that
all
could
from,
happen.
all from Castleford. Before we go, because we've got to get the food before it disappears. If you are coming this weekend, I keep wandering off camera because I'm a professional. Because John just talked about money. Don't spend money on one of the scarves outside that's got Rob Burrow's head on, because none of that money is going to go to charity. So you're meaning well. Well, I assume it's not going to. I could be wrong.
No, you're probably right. Yeah.
So don't do
Good
that.
point.
Don't do that.
This is from somebody who bought a half and half scarf at Wembley.
For 20 quid.
The Wakefield Sheffield
Yeah,
scarf.
yeah.
100 years, that'll be worth
Well,
millions.
in this stadium, John, in 1992, where Wakefield beat I'm going to cut myself off because you don't hear this again.